from the Litchfield Hills to Long Island Sound. You are watching Live with Lumi and Michelle. And now your host, MicheleMarieDalene.
Hi guys, hello meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Of course, tonight is the official debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and we will be covering it live. Our source for tonight will be C-SPAN, because C-SPAN is going to be kind of dovetailing nicely with this feed, so we can, as soon as they start talking, that's when we'll start listening to that. We know it starts at 9 o'clock, and if I go to that channel right now, you will see that is the feed right there. Are they going to have comments? Are they going to have chats? Are we going to have live streams? I don't know what C-SPAN's going to do, but that's the source we're using for tonight's show. So that'll be very interesting to see how that goes. So because they have a whole hour to go, we're going to try to get some questions in first. Comments and phone calls, we'll take them first for the first hour. And then after that, during the debate, we will not be taking phone calls. And then after, or voice chats. And then after the debate, we will again take phone calls and voice chats. The same is going to apply here, that I'm going to be muting my microphone as well during the debates. That way, the debaters can debate and talk, and we will be able to hear them word for word, and so it won't mess up the closed captions. Of course, we'll have our debate, our comments will be on the screen, so that we can see them, and we can see the comments too. Okay, by the way, did you take a look at just Miss Jamie, did you take a look at the links they give you about Mark Taylor in the World of Warcraft chat group, or in the regular Discord general chat group? Because I did send you the information about the Mark Taylor prophecies, as well as a link to his channel, so you guys can check out Mark Taylor's prophecies. That some people, we've talked about that on last Saturday, and I decided to send or cite my sources and give people on my Discord links to the Mark Taylor's channel and to the prophecies from of Mark Taylor, the two particularly that apply with Donald Trump, although he has many more. Of course, he's writing a book as well that involves the Donald Trump prophecies. Mark Taylor said, yes, you can definitely find out. Rusty, of course, is sticking his tail everywhere. What? Okay, now, by the way, next question. I have to go ahead. Do what? What? You want to go outside? Do you want to go outside? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me let the cat out real quick. So anyway, like I said, let me let the rusty cat out, or at least open the door. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so he's going outside on his own volition, and so let me plug back in here. Also, we have other news to cover as well. The Democrats have come up with a new revised HEROES Act. And there's some good things in the HEROES Act that you might want to know about. Yeah, he's a big kitty cat. And the first thing I wanted to tell you is first of all, for those who have back child support, got some good news for you. If passed, you will receive your stimulus check. As long as you make less than $75,000 for an individual and $150,000 for a couple. Okay? And also, likewise, they cannot attach, garnish your check whatsoever from any commercial vendor or lender, whatever, so that's good. Also, it's going to be sure that all dependents will receive $500. The bill is 2,100 pages long. Congress, can I ask you one thing? Why do you have to make a bill that's 2,100 pages long? What's the point? Can't you just make a bill like the original Problem Solvers Caucus bill of about 15 pages? Why does it have to be so gargantuan? Don't you realize you're killing thousands of trees, printing documents like this? It's ridiculous. Okay? Congress, you want... Oh, I'm surprised that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez isn't bitching about that and saying, we need to protect the trees. We need to switch alternatives on paper for printing bills. And we need to make sure that bills are written shorter. Okay. Well, that has been clearly stated where the money's going to go. It already says that in an 87 summary of the bill, of what's going to be in the bill. Yes, they have a whole other document. It's an 87-page summary of all things. Like, as I said, these people are terrible. Everybody talks about the Green New Deal. Well, here's one. How about making bills that are reasonably short, to the point, forget the Legolas, come on, Rustica, come on, and just get straight to the point instead of giving excuses about spending money on fancy bills that no one's going to want to read. Okay, that's what they should be doing, not sitting there and wasting our time. Come on, Rustica, down there. Oh. And wasting our time printing big, thick, fat treatises. All right, this is ridiculous. But Congress doesn't listen to me, so yeah, I know, and they all do, and that's the part of the problem with these bills. Now, let's get to the Joe Biden thing that I want you to watch out for, guys, tonight. This is no joke. He has flat out refused to allow an examination for listening devices on his body. Okay, so he's basically saying is I'm not going to let you check me for listening devices. In other words, I'm not going to let you check me for hearing devices from offstage sound or anything like that. So I got a feeling, likewise, he balked at a P test. And so I think, first of all, I think he's going to cheat. That's what I'm thinking. I bet you, and I don't even have to be much of a bettor, that they're going to probably find out, just like Hillary Clinton, that he's gonna cheat, lie, and steal, or whatever. I mean, not lie and steal, but I wouldn't put it past him. But the question is, and one person asked a good question, does he really want to be president at all? Because, I mean, it seems to me like if he wants to be president, he's not trying very hard. And also, what is the Democrats thinking of putting a 77-year-old man in office? Okay? But just like the last one, I mean, okay, read that one. So the thing is that these people are up to something. And let me get the rest of the group on here. Alright, so let's get the rest of the chat group up on the phone here and see what they got to say. Okay! Round and round and round it goes. Who's going to answer? Nobody knows. Oh, it is...
Hello?
How you doing?
Not bad, how are you?
Well, as you know, today is the debate. It's the big one. Between Trump and Biden.
Trust me, it's going to be 2 a.m. in the UK and I'm going to be watching it over here.
What's that?
I'm in the UK, so it's going to be starting at 2 a.m. And I'm
Yeah.
going to be definitely watching it. I can't wait.
Right, and I'll be starting in about the official debate is going to be starting in approximately 50 minutes,
Hopefully
according to the
Donald kicks his
C-SPAN
ass.
feed. Yeah. So the good news is like I said, we are going to keep it simple. During the debate, there will be no sound. From me, my microphone, or from the people in the chat group. So in the chat group, all the microphones will be muted. After the debate, all the microphones and phone calls will be unmuted, and we can talk about it at that time. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
So that way people can hear the debaters and not hear everybody else in the process.
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
Okay, some people got mad when I did that last year. But the reason we did that last year is the same as the reason we're doing it this year. People want to be able to hear the president and the potential president talk. It's their time. This debate, as I strongly have been already said, Joe Biden will not let him check him for listening devices. He said he will not take a P test. So I think he's going to cheat, and I think he's going to lie. And Donald Trump has agreed to be checked for listening devices, and he passed the P test. So who's being a dishonest one here? Remember, Hillary Clinton in 2016 was given many of the questions in advance from CNN and Donna Brazil. So she knew what the questions were before even Donald Trump did, because she was given the questions in advance from a select group of people that weren't even in the audience. And some of the people that were in the audience were pre-selected to be there to ask the questions. And the questions were scripted. Now, that was in 2016. So the question is Joe Biden going to do the same tomfoolery again? That's the question. And unfortunately, depending on who you ask, the answer could be anywhere from you bet to no. I don't know. I think he's setting up his own bullshit. I mean, I think the Democrats are playing games on their own candidate because they're not. I mean, the simplest things that he could do to verify that he's being authentic, he's refusing to do that. They did the same thing to Hillary Clinton. They did the same bullshit. And the difference was that I think Hillary Clinton was complicit. And I think that Joe Biden is going to be complicit again. So what I want you all to do when you're watching the debate is I want you to watch both candidates like a hawk. This is where Pop would be good because Pop is observant. Pop can pick up liars and bullshitters. But we already know what happened with Pop on Saturday, so I won't.
Yeah.
Or Monday, I'm sorry. Okay, we already know that actually it was Saturday, he created a problem. So that's why he's not going to be on Skype tonight. But even so, I got a feeling that Joe Biden is going to fail badly, like a deck of cards. I don't think he has any. I don't think he has any chance.
Well, the question is if he can actually remember his own name or not.
What's that?
I said the question is whether he can actually remember his own name.
Well, I mean, the thing is that what I wonder is did he? Is there something going on with the Democrats? Like, okay, this is the part that don't make any sense. You got a candidate who's 77 years old. The other guy there, Sanders, is 78. Okay, Donald Trump is 74. However, compared to the three, the one that seems to be the most together is Trump. Okay, Biden is not, even in Orlando, Florida, Biden was a washout. He did not do well in Florida at all. He did not have what it took. I don't understand how in the hell they could appoint a presidential candidate like that could not even hold together even in Florida. So let me get these questions on the screen so everybody can see them. I just don't understand that at all. How in the heck did they get him in Florida in a small high school gymnasium and he couldn't even, I know some of it had to do with COVID-19, but I listened to the guy. All it took was 5 minutes to listen to him and said, oh, this guy is a disaster. And then again, at the end of the thing, when you would have, in the case of town hall like that, you and have questions, he walks off the podium, refuses to answer any questions from anybody. It's almost like Joe Biden was saying, look, I said what I said. I have nothing else to say. I'm not going to answer your questions. I'm not going to talk to the press. I'm not going to do anything. It's almost like he's guaranteeing himself to self-sabotage. I just don't understand that. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, does he want the role? Or is he just doing it because somebody else basically put him up to it? That's the question. I don't know. So what do you think? ADS, what's your opinion on it?
I think we're going to see. Well, my opinion is Joe Biden's been in government for almost 50 years, and I mean, what makes anybody think that he's going to actually achieve? He's actually going to do something good now. He hasn't done anything good in the 50 years he's
He's an old
been in
guy.
government. So.
He's an old guy who's washed up and hasn't really gotten anything together. And I don't think. But the first thing I would like to ask about the Democrats is, why would you nominate an old man like this, who clearly is crotchety, who clearly does not seem to have his head on straight? Why would you want to ruin your potential opportunity of having a good candidate to run against Trump? Look, to be honest here, they could have had Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard was a much better candidate. She was a moderate. There were Republicans, including me, that would have voted for her. Yet, what happened? They decided to have an old fart do it instead of a lady that's in her 40s or maybe even early 50s. Why? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, unless there's something about Tulsi Gabbard that they didn't like. Maybe the fact is that she supports the military. Maybe it's the fact that she served in the armed forces. Maybe it's because she's a moderate. I don't know. But we got some other good news here for Americans too. I wanted to bring this up, guys. This is the bill. We already know, I mentioned it. The Democrats have come out with the HEROES Act Revised Edition. The HEROES Act Revised Edition of 2,100 pages. Now, for everybody in Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and friends that are pushing the Green New Deal, hey, why don't you tell the government to stop printing such large bills? If you're really seriously worried about the environment, tell them to use less paper. I mean, come on. Who is going to go through 4 reams of paper per printing to read a bill? That's 500 sheets per pack of paper. That's about 4.2 reams of paper. 4.25 reams of paper. That's ridiculous. I mean, You're so worried about people wasting money or traveling and air exhaust and all that. Well, guess what? There's a real problem. It's your own bureaucracy and paperwork that's killing the world, not just air travel. Airline travel in the United States is down 85%. Walt Disney has corporation is laying off over 20,000 employees at the parks. 20,000 employees. Airlines, if they don't get the bailout by October 1st, can lay off all the unnecessary employees they don't need, which means that there'll be possibly hundreds of thousands at least unemployed, adding to the 29 million Americans out of a job. This is serious, guys. Yeah, and this is serious. Also, don't forget that the Senate needs to vote on the new continuing resolution by Wednesday. That's tomorrow, because they didn't vote on it today. So tomorrow is the deadline. They're going to vote on it tomorrow before midnight. There's no room for any kind of corrections or kind of emendations or nothing. So if they mess up on this and they don't pass it, the United States government is going to shut down. And while the government is shut down, they cannot cover the stimulus bill. We already know that 2020 has been a dumpster fire. I mean, it's not going to be surprising if they just basically screw it up again. So I don't know what to say about that, but it makes me feel very uncomfortable with the situation at all. I mean, I think it's disgusting. Oh, well, they got 37 minutes left before they go live. All right, so let me ask you another question, just because to fill in some blank space here. I wanted to know what you think about the World of Warcraft beta, the PTR. What do you think about when you see me playing the game? What do you think about it?
Who, me, Michelle?
The game I play, the World of Warcraft, the beta. What do you think about when you see the gameplay? What do you think about it?
I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting. I haven't played the beta myself because I haven't an invite. But I think the starting areas are pretty cool. However, sort of together, that's interesting.
I think the island's a great idea, honestly. I think it's going to be very helpful for people who are starting out, because they're going to be able to see how the game is played and what the game is like. And I'm just getting the cameras ready for the other show here. And where is it? Okay. There you go. So I'm using the same overlay that I use for the game, so I can just make it easier with the camera. And I'll just use the swap command here, so I can just swap cameras without screwing up everything else. But the only thing is there are things about I haven't been able to get working. I can't get Chromie Time to work. I don't know if they disabled Chromie Time, because there's some questions about that. If they disabled Chromie Time, maybe they were having problems with Chromie Time and they couldn't get it working right or whatever. But it seems that Chromie Time is not working. It's supposed to be accessible right away. And I went and I looked at all the videos about how to access Chromie Time. And I went through all the steps. And I can't access Chromie Time. So I think that Blizzard was having problems with Chromie Time and decided to disable it until they figure it out. Maybe it'll be one of the patches later on after the pre-patch is released. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like it to me, you know.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty cool idea, though, that you can play. I think it's at level 10, isn't it? I think you can just play like any of the expansions.
Legion. Chromie Time goes all the way back to Legion. It does not go back to the Burning Crusade.
Oh, okay.
So Legion is as early as you can go. The Burning Crusade is not in there.
Still pretty cool, though. So that you
It's
can like
pretty cool
replay
once
them
they
if you
get working. I know some people who have been watching me play have been excited. I got 78 viewers on that channel right now. I only got 707 on this one. And but then again, this is more of a news channel anyway, so this is not really going to have a lot of gameplay on it. But even so, I think that if anything we've learned about 2020 so far is this year, and this probably is true for Blizzard too, because Blizzard has already suffered a major setback. Michael Monaghan and his wife are leaving Blizzard, and they started Dreamhaven, a competing game company. And that's going to hurt because a lot of veteran Blizzard employees are leaving Blizzard to go to Dreamhaven. So I don't know what Blizzard Activision's going to do. I don't know what the future for them is right now. I think that they're really hoping that this beta or the Shadowland is going to be a great product and continue their franchise. And I think it will. But the thing is, I hope to God that they do not rush this to market just because they think it's the way to go, is to rush it to market. And I don't mean that because there's questions about conduits and sockets and a few things that are totally new to the system that no one has ever really had worked with before. Conduits and sockets. No one knows what conduits and sockets really are. There's some questions about that. The covenant system, like for my case, is are you going to play Ventir or Bastion, or are you going to play Green Fae or Night Fae? I'm thinking that for my characters, it's going to be either one of the two. I think Night Fae is more likely going to be the one I'll probably be playing. I'm not so much worried about the option of making myself into a wolf. That doesn't really bother me, or a fox, but rather is there are things about Night Fae that do apply to my green sense of responsibility. And there are things about Bastion that kind of agree with my spiritual faith system. And I'm playing a Void Elf, which is kind of funny. But my Void Elf is a disciplined priestess. There's a secret. She's not really a Void Elf. She's actually a light worker. She just doesn't say it. She keeps her private faith system to herself. Just like the real me. So no, just Miss Jamie. To get back to what she was saying is, Biden himself is part of the problem. But yeah, you can bet his handlers are definitely folding, spindling, and mutilating. So yeah, he's definitely gonna get steamrolled. But what I don't understand, let me get back to that real quick, is I do not understand why if he does not really want the job, why they put him up to it. So, but anyway, we'll see tonight how it's going to go, because I got a feeling that he is going to falter. I don't think he's going to do well. I don't care how experienced you are as a negotiator, because the truth of the matter is Donald Trump